Wonderful women, welcome back to the channel. This is my last video of 2023 and I am so stoked to be here with you today because we're going to talk about how to make sure that you get your period back in 2024. A few things before I get started. If you haven't signed up, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please make sure that you do so now. Every single time that you subscribe, that's going to allow me to create more free videos for you so that you can really restore your hormones, boost your fertility without going anywhere else. And secondly, if you aren't part of the Recover from Hypothalamic Amenorrhea support group on Facebook yet, make sure that you head over there, sign in, join the community. There are more than 1,000 women that have joined over the past couple of years. And last but not least, make sure also that you join my Instagram channel, ha.fertility.nutritionist. So without further ado, let's make sure that we dive right into a very important topic, how to make sure that you keep or get your period back in 2024. I'm going to be blunt today and I'm going to be very honest. I have gone through the HA recovery journey on my own before seeking professional guidance. And I can tell you that it was the hardest bit of my life. I'm pretty sure that if you're here now, the last thing that you are missing out upon at the moment is information and knowledge. You know, all the things you may have had, you may have used the artificial intelligence to know exactly what you need to eat to get your period back, or you may have been listening to so many podcasts, YouTube videos. You may have joined a challenge, a 5-day challenge on how to get the period back, on how to practice mindfulness, how to meditate every single day, and yet you haven't seen a difference, or you have got to a point to then fall back to very old disorder behaviors. And that's simply because what you're possibly missing right now is implementation. Know exactly how to move forward, what's the next step for you in your own journey, no one else's journey, but just yours, and also how to stay accountable in your journey. So the first tip that I would like to give you today to make sure that you get your period back, you get pregnant, or that you store your hormonal balance in 2024 is to seek professional guidance. Just make sure that you invest your time and your money, your finances in finding a coach or finding a nutrition and dietetic clinicians like I am, and join a community like the one that I have created, which is called the HA community. We meet regularly on group calls. There is a support coach that is there to support you, and that's hence the name support coach. But it has made the world of difference to the women that have joined. Some of them were stuck in quasi-recovery for even a decade, 2 years, 3 years, and they managed to get the period back within a very short time frame. The things that I've noticed is that most of these women, they were very committed in the beginning to implement changes, but then they found themselves getting stuck after 2 months, 2 months and a half of seeing their body changing. And that's where the support of a community and the guidance of our professionals can really be a game changer. The second things that I really would like you to focus on at the end of this year and the beginning of next year is to really dream big. So if you start from a place of believing that this is not going to happen to you or for you, chances are that it's not going to happen. Secondly, I want you to dream big, but I also would like you to ask yourself the big questions. Why my periods are not regular? Why I have not been able to get pregnant? Why I feel some resistance in terms of moving forward and letting go of behaviors that have been part of myself for the longest time. So really don't be afraid of asking yourself the very deep questions. Write them down, find out what they are, find out what your roadblocks are, and start dreaming big. Sometimes it's really hard to manifest ourselves living a different life because we are afraid that it's not going to happen. So I really encourage you, for the next couple of weeks, for the beginning of 2024, allow yourself to be someone else. Allow yourself to be your future self more than someone else. Allow yourself to be that woman that has a period, has let go of many of the behaviors that were unresourceful, that is capable of experiencing food freedom, that is in peace with her body and is not constantly fighting with it. So I really recommend you to dream big for the next months and see miracles unfolding in front of you. And the last thing that I would like to ask you, the last tip that I'm going to invite you to really nail within the next three weeks or so, is to invest in yourself. I know that sometimes when it comes the moment to invest in a program or seeking professional guidance, there is always the fear of, oh, it's so much money, I don't have the money. But ultimately, what you're telling yourself is that I don't have enough money to get better. I don't have enough money to invest in my own health. And guess what's going to happen in the future? If you don't get your period back right now, then you're going to suffer from long-term consequences. If you don't get your period back to get pregnant, then chances are that you may need to go through assisted fertility, and that's very costly. And guess what else is going to happen? That you're going to waste so much of your precious time, brain space, and life completely consumed in your behaviors. And that can really cost you a lot, not only on terms of joy and living a plentiful life, but it's also going to cost you in terms of relationship and achieving your big dreams. Because if you have lots of limiting beliefs, if you can't allow yourself to dream big, if you don't really ask yourself the big questions, if you don't invest your time, energy, and money to better yourself, to get better, to get back to health, chances are that you're going to spend your life at a suboptimal capacity, and you're not going to be able to reach your full potential. If I can share part of my story, when I was restricting the calories and when I was overtraining, I kept postponing my own business. I kept postponing starting something new or putting myself out there. And I used to work in a corporate job that was, yes, well paid, but I was feeling very stuck and miserable, to the point that after experiencing a big burnout, I just accepted the job that was so easy and so underpaid, and I feel so frustrated and diminished in that position. But the reality is that my self-esteem was suffering because I was restricting my life. Instead of looking, how can I expand? How can I become larger? How can I help more people? How can I share my resources? How can I share my stories? I was really stuck in my limiting beliefs. No one is going to listen. I cannot get better. I'm not going to be able to get my period back. I'm not going to be able to become a mom, to get pregnant. I'm not going to be able to make money out of my business. I'm not going to be able to share my energy, to have enough energy to really hold on to conversations with more than one woman every single day, not to mention also holding group calls or speaking in front of thousands of women. So if you are at a point in your life where you're really sick and tired of having your brain occupied by limiting beliefs, if you feel that even your career, your relationship is not aligned with where you want to be, with the woman that you have envisioned yourself to be, if you really want to get your period back, let go of those behaviors and let go of simply unsubscribe to HA Recovery channel in 2024, because that's also part of your dream, part of the woman that you want to become. You want to start learning about something new. My biggest encouragement for you is to really trust in yourself, believe in yourself, invest in yourself. You're not going to regret it. I had women that ended up joining the period comeback protocol, even if they were in a place of fear of not being able to get the period back, fear of not being able to have enough money to pay for the program. And at the end of the day, everything aligned beautifully. And not only they managed to get the period back, some of them, they changed the relationship. Some of them, they changed the career. Some of them, they really started sharing their story and affecting so many other lives. Some of them have learned about having a completely different mindset, that it's more in tune with who they were meant to be from the very first place. So if that's appealing to you, if that's something that you're interested in, just make sure that you join the wait list, reach out to me, book in a free call for the new year. Make sure that you have something in place already in your calendar that can get you to the place where you want to be. make sure that you book that call or that you join the program so that you're going to be one step closer to the woman that you have always wanted to become. And in the meantime, until we jump on that call together, start to write down all your limited beliefs, all the things that you want to get rid of, and start to envision your dream life. Lovely soul, do not be afraid of dreaming big. That's what you got. It's your right, okay, to dream. No one can take that away from you. And the one thing that I really wish for you at the end of this year and for the beginning of the new one, it's joy, empowerment, and health. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. Do not forget to subscribe, and you can also check all my links below. Bye for now.